Hello guys and welcome back to London. This is episode 3 of our series where we're rebuilding Great Britain. The series is called The Great British Rebuild, where we started post-World War II and we're just trying to rebuild the transport infrastructure, things like that, in this huge map of Great Britain that we have here, which is pretty large if you ask me. In the previous 2 episodes we started off initially setting off a train line that connects through to Reading, into Oxford and all the way to Birmingham. We've also set up some bus routes to connect within those cities as well as from these outer cities into London. It appears that there are some very large buildings being built. I'm not sure how or why that's happening, but yes, looks rather bizarre. But in this episode, I wanted to change London a bit, because yes, the game will build itself, it will do its own thing and make itself look pretty cool. But in my opinion, this is not London to me. It just doesn't look that good. It just looks a bit ugly. And you'll probably agree with me that this looks very, very ugly. So we're going to try and use some of our cash that we've got. Our lines are making us some decent money, especially our train lines, making some good cash. So what we want to do is use some of that cash to make London look nice. And the only way that we're going to do that is by destroying a lot of things and rebuilding it. It's just going to be a difficult task, but we're gonna try and conquer it. So first things first, we need to figure out what we want to do. So I kind of want, because if you look at along the river, it just looks disgusting. So we want to get rid of these buildings along here. We want to make a nice road that flows along the river. Probably flatten out a lot of this surface as well. And then we'll start to go from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by destroying, well, quite a lot of this. I might pause it while I do this because it's going to break the bank and probably break the game. So we'll start off by destroying all of these buildings. It's actually going to cost a lot more than I think, which is not good at all. We want to get rid of all these massive, huge buildings, which is 1957. Why are they even there? And then the same with all of these buildings across here. Get rid of all of those. Get rid of all of those, and that should clear a bit of space. And then we need to do the same along this section here, like so. Oh man, I'm going to have to pause and run this game and stuff like that to get some more money in. It's going to be a tough one. The reason it's paused because I don't want them to rebuild after I've built up, essentially. So we're going to have to get rid of these bridges. Unfortunately, so that's probably going to ruin a lot of our bus routes as well. So we'll get rid of those bridges. Same with this one. That's our bus route destroyed. And what we'll do, I think we're probably going to get rid of the closer roads as well, like this. We just want to make a nice clear section along this river to make it look quite nice. So all of these roads throughout London are going to go and give us a nice working area. We've already burnt through nearly half our cash. This is probably going to be a lot more difficult than I first thought. Right, we're not going to destroy that. We'll get rid of that and then keep those buildings. So we've got a nice sort of area to work with at the moment, which looks good. Now, what we need to do is I want to use my terrain tools. Firstly, I want to kind of smooth it out so it's a little bit less hilly, but we also need to... This river needs to be a little bit wider because it's the River Thames. So we just want that to be a little bit wider all the way around here. Like so. Doesn't have to go the whole way because it does get a lot quite expensive, but we want that to be a bit better. Bring that round and then bring that through there. So we've got a slightly wider river. The next thing I want to do is try to flatten this riverside outwards, just so that it looks, well, not looks, but just so that it flows a little bit better. So we'll flatten the side of the rivers out. Oh man, we're only on 8 mil. I'm going to have to run the game for a bit, which is annoying. But we'll flatten this out. Thankfully this isn't too expensive compared to the other things. That's a nice bit of river there. Flatten that all out like so. And then we've got a little bit of that, and then just smooth out the rest of this terrain, just like this. Make it flow a little bit better, and then that should give us a slightly better looking river for all of this essentially. And then just run this over here, flatten all of this out a bit, and we should be looking a little bit better. The first thing that I want to do is I want to reconnect this straight road across the water. I'll probably change its path slightly, so it'll go straight like this, so we can keep it straight with the train station, but we're probably going to push it all the way through like that, but we're going to need to make some room for it, which is not that helpful, so that bus needs to move out of the way. That's just going to do what it wants. Going to have to make a little bit more room here. Oh my goodness, this is so expensive. Let's see if we can squeeze that through there now. We can't. I don't want to destroy all of it, I just want to destroy whatever. Whatever, we got to do what we got to do. Hopefully the roads aren't going to be that expensive. They're not. We want to connect that through here. Nice central route, which will eventually connect into Luton. Because why wouldn't you want to connect to Luton? So that's a nice straight route that goes through there, which is good. We want to update this bridge to make it look more London-y, so let's try and pick some sort of bridge. That's pretty average. They're all pretty standard bridges at the moment. That looks okay. I haven't really decided on a bridge that I think I would want to use just yet. I don't want it to be something too basic, so that looks okay. But do we want more of an arched one? Yeah, that looks cool. That looks a little bit more unique. And that can run across here, which is cool enough. The next thing we need, this is such a mess at the moment. The next thing we need to do is run a road along the river. So just a normal medium street, and what we want to do is connect it from here. We want this to be slightly straight, like that. Do the same just a little bit out here, and then we'll kind of bend the rest of it round so that it somewhat flows with the river. And hopefully people won't build on it. I don't know, I swear I destroyed you. What are you doing? Oh no, we're going broke. Luckily these streets aren't too expensive. Otherwise we'd be in a spot of bother. Maybe we'll straighten that out. And bring it up across like that. And then curve that one around the river slightly like here. And then we'll just straighten that one out, connect it up to whatever this is. And then we want to do the same this way. think we'll probably just bring it down slightly and then curve it this way like that, and then straighten it across to here. If we put it to the straight function, it should allow us just to connect straight up, which it does. Awesome. I might, oh no, the thing is I want to run it, but I also don't want it to start building where I'm trying to build. That's the problem. So same around here. I think that's a little bit too close to the water for our liking. But we could actually just use a nice straight road here and connect that eventually up to something else, probably just like that actually. Perfect. That gives another connection there, and then with this one, bring it out slightly, move it along to here, along there. So I'm running the game a bit while I build a few more bridges for the crossing, because we're very low on money, but thankfully we're making a bit of money back with our current transport infrastructure, so we can pop that there. That's another small bridge that connects across, which is good. We need probably another bridge connection. I want it to go across here, just like that, which could work. I don't see why that won't work. I think that's fine. Pop that across there. Change this bridge type to something a little bit different. Potentially maybe an arch bridge like that would be pretty cool. And then we've got one bridge there, and one bridge here. Next thing we need to do is, the problem is I want to make this completely nice and pretty and look very good, but the issue that I have is I don't have enough money to destroy all of these roads at the moment. So what I'm just going to have to do is just work with what we've got and start with this at the moment. But what I do have is what I want to make it a bit more London-y is, well, I'll show you. The first thing we have is Big Ben and Westminster Hall, or Westminster Abbey, whatever you want to call it. It looks pretty cool. It's one of the main tourist attractions for London. And where better to place it than somewhere along the river, like here. So what we're going to do is we need to make some space to pop it down. The problem is it's quite large, so we might struggle with all of the space in the world. But we want it somewhere here, somewhere near that bridge, and I think probably around there would be perfect. Alternatively, we could probably put it this side. I think here is probably the best spot because it would be right along the river. So let's go on the presumption that we're going to use this spot here. That will unfortunately mean that this road is going to have to go from there, but it gives us enough room to place this down. For some reason there's collision here, I don't know why. What's the collision problem? Not sure. I should be able to build it anyway because I got the right mod on. If we just pop that there, connect it to here, and then voila. We should... What is that? That is disgusting. Why has it done that? Right, take two. So unfortunately, to make this fit properly, I have to do loads of terraforming, which leaves me with £64,000 left. But hopefully should be enough to just connect up this section here. What I wanted it to do was be flat to here, and then it can start going up a slight incline there. Oh, that looks so grim. I mean, it's cool that we've got that here, but this hill just looks awful. Don't know if there's a way that we can just smooth that out even more. It just looks like it's bringing it up rather than actually smoothing it out, doesn't it? So maybe we'll get rid of that. See if we can... Yeah, I mean, there's not really much we can do about that one, to be honest, is there? We can try and put that road back in. It's just a bit rubbish. It is just a little bit too rubbish, isn't it? I think flatten around it. Flatten around it like this. Oh no, we don't have enough money. Right, we're going to have to run the game for a bit. Damn it. Right, so I flattened the road around it. We're slowly making a little bit more money. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to... For now, as long as that's straight, that'll be fine. What I want to do is just get a little street and wrap it round. I just want it to go alongside the Westminster Abbey. Well, to be honest with you, I want it to be straight. So we want this to come out straight, or straight enough. And then that to come down alongside it, like that. At least we've then got that there, and then we can figure out what we're going to try and do with this section here, because it's a bit of an annoyance is what I would call it, an annoyance. I mean, we can just... Depends how this looks now, so let's... I mean, that's much better than it was, in my opinion. That looks much better than it originally was. But at least we've now got the Westminster Abbey with Big Ben right along our bridge, which is pretty cool. We've got a few other London-y sort of things that we need to put in. We can figure out where we want those placed in a moment, once we've got some more money. Another one we do have is the Tower of London, which potentially we could put here. If we line it up correctly, let's have a look. Does that look okay there? I think it's meant to be placed down with obviously like walls and stuff around it. I think there is like Tower of London walls or something like these. But I don't think we need to do that. That'll be a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. So we're not going to do that. But we've got the Tower of London there as well, which again helps out a little bit. What else do we have London-wise? Let's have a browse. St. Paul's Cathedral from London we've got, which will be an awesome contribution to our London city, which I think would probably look pretty good about here. So still kind of in the touristy section, just like around sort of this area here. So if we manage to get that correct, pop that in there, we straighten this road out to run alongside of it. Obviously destroy these houses that were built within that I've just bulldozed. Same with these. Gonna have to go, I'm afraid. And what we'll do is try and straighten this road out. Pause it so that nobody else builds where I want to build. Straighten that. I want it to go straight down, and then we'll connect this river road back up. So that to go straight down here would be perfect. There we go. We've finally got that connection. Come on. Let me be. Maybe we'll just go like this, with a bit of curvature. That could work actually. and then this one can just curve round as an alternative just about there. Cool. And I wonder if we can put a small street along the outside of this. Oh, we've got the bus stop there, which is going to cause a few issues. And that's way too narrow for us to put anything in, which is no problem at all. But we do have a St. Paul's Cathedral now, which is cool. So London is becoming slowly a little bit more Londony. Let's speed up some time. So we got Big Ben and the Westminster Abbey here. Tower of London, St. Paul's Cathedral. I wonder if we've got any others. I don't know what else they would have, but we can have a look. So there is a Buckingham Palace available, which of course, as you know, is very much a London thing, as you can see here. It looks pretty cool. Whether or not I think we need it is another question. We can obviously make it a bit bigger. I think if we're going to have this, we'd probably need to put it at the end of this road, so it's kind of... We'll probably want to straighten that road across here. Have that nice and straight and then have Buckingham Palace across there. But again, that's going to be a costly manoeuvre, because if we destroyed that, that's a lot of cash. There's low... oh my goodness. I'm not sure what the alternative is of where to put Buckingham Palace unless we were to put it here. That doesn't really make much sense to put it there just yet, does it? Maybe we won't build Buckingham Palace just yet. But for now, we've got the train line still working, and we're still making some money back, which is good, because that has certainly been a stinker for us. Actually destroyed our bank balance, but hopefully a few people will start visiting tourist-wise to our beautiful city. I need them to start building in here to kind of fill in the gaps. I'll probably smooth this terrain out a bit because it looks a bit silly at the moment, doesn't it? Smoothing that out a bit, smooth that out a bit, and hopefully people will start moving in. I wonder if we can pop some trees down or something. There's got to be some trees in here somewhere. Oh yeah, probably in the trees tab. That would make sense, wouldn't it, everybody? If we... oh, look at that. Yeah, we don't want it to skip collision. So maybe a few trees along the riverside like this. Just to pretty it up a little bit. Make it look a little bit more fuller, rather than just bare and empty. So put those along there. Same along the rest of the river. If people want to build, they can build around the trees because we love nature. Just like this. And the same along this side of the river too. Like that. Wow, that makes such a difference, just a few trees, doesn't it? What I might do is just tree out London, and then as it builds, they can destroy the trees that they need to destroy. But for the time being, these trees certainly help a lot, don't they? So we can pop those around here as well. Pop them around the main sort of area here, and then as time goes on, they will get destroyed and developed on. I hope that's not a tree on my train line. No, it's not. Good. But nevertheless, that looks pretty cool. We just need to somehow deal with this tree problem that has now infested our beautiful St. Paul's Cathedral. Is now a greenhouse. So we'll sort that out. Oh, we've unlocked a Boeing 737. We're in 1962 already. This is very much a very British fashion. It's been nearly 20 years and all we've done is built a train track, which doesn't go that far. Very British indeed. But nevertheless, this looks so much better now. We don't need that tree there. It's crazy how much difference the trees make. Crazy. Looks a lot better. I'm just going to make some adjustments to this junction because it was causing a bit of chaos. So we want to bring that round on a nice curve. Connect this one hopefully to this same junction here. I don't really like that curve. We can make that a little bit smarter, that'd be nice. There we go, that's 100 times better. And then we can bring that up and connect it in. So let's push that back a bit. And we will just run that through to here. And then we'll look to upgrade these to normal roads. And then we have a slightly better road network going on just here. It's slightly better, and it's not much better. There is still a lot of traffic. Reading is building up quite a lot, getting pretty busy. The train station has a few people on it, which is good, so it's still expanding. I don't know what this Megalodon tower is, but it looks ugly. So ugly. But we are starting to develop a bit more. Hopefully after a bit of time this will all start to build up, make London a lot more larger, bigger, stronger. We can in fact put some of our own office buildings and stuff down should we wish to make it look a bit nicer, but for now I think that looks pretty cool. We've made some adjustments, so I'm probably going to let it run again for a bit because we're really low on money. Because we've spent so much money, so I'm probably going to let it run for a bit, but hopefully in the next episode we can start expanding a bit more and making it look a little bit more London-y, because you want your downtown to be more office buildings and stuff rather than these flats. So we'll figure it out, but for now London looks nice enough. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in episode 4. Goodbye.